The world population is growing at a reckless rate, with an added 1 million mouths to feed every 5.7 days. Currently, the biggest challenge facing humanity is how to feed this ever-growing world population with dwindling resources.
One of the big problems facing all of mankind is the fact that the world population is expanding at a rapid rate, that by the year 2045 there's an expected 9 billion people on the planet. We've already maximized our yields through the Green Revolution methods, so we need to find new technologies to produce more food with less land.
The most obvious problem would be the real estate problem, with more and more farmland being taken out of production in order to make room for housing for an increasing population. And not only that, but increasing the production of the existing farmland that isn't being taken out of production without destroying the environment in the process in order to feed these new mouths that are coming on.
In addition, extreme weather is increasingly becoming the norm, with drought, flooding, high winds, and unseasonable temperatures all taking their toll on agriculture.
The climate is becoming more and more erratic. There's a lot less predictability from year to year, a lot heavier rains and some critical timings for crops, or drought stress at these critical timings that could ruin an entire field for a farmer. And so our biggest challenge is trying to maximize the productivity of these soils without increasing the toxic load on the environment.
Well, the Green Revolution model, which really revolutionized agriculture into the industrial scale we have today from the 1960s and 1970s, introduced hybrid varieties, high inputs of fertilizers and pesticides, herbicides, that led to the levels of production that we have now. Unfortunately, it came at a high cost in terms of reduction in soil fertility and structure, environmental degradation, and a decrease in the quality of our food. So we introduced technology that increases soil fertility, that allows a farmer to reduce his footprint on the environment and to produce higher quality food.
For more than 23 years, BioTech Incorporated has been sourcing and supplying innovative products and production systems that increase agricultural productivity and quality while reducing the toxic load on the environment.
We source innovative products, inputs for fertility and for pest control into the agriculture industry. We market our products worldwide. Our technology allows farmers to use 25 to 50% less fertilizer than standard recommendations, and to reduce pesticides such that there's less runoff into the wetlands and streams and rivers, less pollution of groundwaters, and less toxic load on the environment. Farmers are continually faced with rising costs, and our technology allows the farmer to reduce costs and increase productivity, and therefore the bottom line.
Combining the best components from both organic and conventional farming methods, BioTech brings an integrated approach to the farmer.
We look at soil health as the most important factor in agriculture. And if the soil is healthy, the crops will be healthy, they'll be productive, and the farm will be more profitable. Soil health is composed of three major factors. One is soil structure and the physical characteristics of the soil. The other is the chemical makeup of the soil. And the third factor is the microbial makeup of the soil. Conventional agriculture emphasizes the chemical aspect of farming, often at the expense of the other two, the physical and the microbial. Organic agriculture emphasizes the physical and the microbial, but often falls short in terms of the chemical. We take a holistic approach. We combine the best of the chemical industry and the best of the conventional methods with the best of the organic methods, and come up with a more integrated approach.
With these methods, farmers can increase the natural fertility of their soils while reducing input costs, reducing runoff of fertilizers and pesticides, and increasing their bottom line.
We introduce products that are sometimes a little bit off the mainstream. We have a biostimulant called Vitazyme, which is a very effective product that's used here on this farm to increase apple production, and it works on all crops. It allows the farmer to use less fertilizer, to make more efficient use of the fertilizers that are used, and increase productivity and the bottom line.
In terms of total production, in the 800 plus research trials we've done, we see that we get greater production, and also we get more quality in production. But at the same time, we also can reduce our fertilizer use. In some of our research trials, we've reduced fertilizer as much as 50%, certainly 25%, and without any reduction in yield. So with that kind of a result, it's kind of a no-brainer for the farmer. The beauty of this is that you don't have to go over with a separate dedicated pass over the field to apply it. You can put it in with a fertilizer, that is a liquid fertilizer or a pesticide, and you can apply it that way without having to go over it with an expensive extra pass.
Well, right now we're experiencing toxic algae blooms in Lake Erie. Every summer there's a vast dead zone off the Gulf of Mexico from runoff in the Mississippi from all the fertilizers and pesticides that are washed into the Mississippi Basin. We see it on local levels. Here in the Finger Lakes we see toxic algae blooms and weed-choked waterways, and not all the responsibility of agriculture, but to a large extent it is. So by reducing the need for fertilizer, the runoff is much less, and we farm much more ecologically.
Most of the commercial agriculture that we see today is what I'd say is on the side of death. Herbicides, pesticides of various sorts are designed to kill various focused plants or pathogens, but Vitazyme and our technology is on the side of life. In other words, we're encouraging the natural predators and those that resist the pathogens, so we can build up the resistance of the plant to not give us such a problem with the pests. In some cases in our studies, certainly in our field observations, we've seen improved weed kill with various pesticides with the Vitazyme mixed. Apparently we're causing the plant to kind of open up its defenses, and it's easier for the herbicide to kill. So we have just found a lot of things that are beneficial to the farmer to improve his bottom line, his profitability, so that's very encouraging.
As a reliable expert in plant genomics and biotechnology, BioTech understands the needs of both plant breeders and growers.
We've been using Vitazyme for 10 years, and in that 10 years we've had extremes one way or the other. But it's helped us maintain more consistent cropping through the use of Vitazyme, and we have, I think, healthier trees and orchards and better growth in the long term. A lot of times in apples particularly, you tend to have a big crop one year and not so big the next, but the average is what counts in annual production. We've seen that we've had more consistent results from year to year with steady cropping. In general, all of our trees seem healthier, more productive. We get better return bloom. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's an all-around great product. Oh, I certainly think that the use of Vitazyme has helped us be more confident about year-to-year ups and down swings. I mean, we're dealing with Mother Nature, so there's always a lot of unknowns and challenges in that regard. But I think Vitazyme is one big product that's helping us along the way.
The reason the grower uses any input is because it pays dividends. It pays back to them. So we found that the Vitazyme program helps to us ensure a good, solid, steady return bloom, and also can help improve quality, especially in improving Brix levels, soluble solid readings at harvest.
Well, I can tell you from my own background, I'm a commercial vegetable grower with 20 years of experience. My wife and I have our own commercial vegetable farm and retail operation with a CSA, Community Supported Agricultural Aspect, in Western Connecticut. One of the problems you have when you're farming in an urban area or semi-urban area, when you have urban encroachment, is you have a resistance to pesticide use or herbicide use on the part of the people who just aren't familiar with the agricultural industry. So in efforts to provide other alternative solutions to the problems facing producers, we've come up with this more efficient magnesium source that can help a number of ways, help a plant to be more healthy, more productive, and more efficient. Nutrimag is a great combination of magnesium and a biostimulant source that really packs a punch, makes a real efficient application, And because of that, I think it has a tremendous value to a producer like myself, a truck farmer, or any farmer for that matter that's looking to spend wisely, to get the most out of their crop, to maximize their yields, to maximize their quality, their storability, all of the things that Nutrimag brings to the table. Well, it's about 4 years now we've been working with this proprietary magnesium source. Over the years, we've tested it on several crops, including grain corn, alfalfa, soybeans, potatoes, wheat, small grains, specifically malting barley. And in each case, we've had positive results. In fact, we've seen up to 16 to 22 bushel yield bumps on grain corn, and we've seen significant percentage increases in tonnage on wheat and disease resistant due to natural fungicidal properties in Nutrimag. And we believe that that's carried over to the malting barley crop, which again, we've also seen record farm yields on malting barley.
2012, they approached us about a product that would help us. With Jeremy, we had a plot, a 12-acre field that was used as a plot and replicated like 32 different times. It was quite a undertaking on making sure stuff was done properly. And then in the fall, with harvest, they were here to document all the different numbers, and it turned out that the stuff had worked. So this particular product, Nutrimag, had definitely seen a 12 bushel increase. And that was over a 3-year period on about 90 different tests. Well, I think it would help you in the sense that you'd utilize your other inputs better. Because down the road, I think we're going to see more of a regulation on how much phosphorus, potash, nitrogen you can put on. So if you have a product that can help stimulate or get the extra oomph out of those nutrients, that would be helpful. This just helps the crop develop better.
The results on this particular farm are they're not exclusive to this farm. We've seen this everywhere. We've seen all over the Caribbean basin, Haiti, Guatemala, Mexico, Cuba, and we've grown all sorts of crops there, from sugarcane to coffee to rice production increased in Haiti as well as Africa. We've been to Kenya with it. We've been all over Europe with it, Australia, and so I get to see it work all over the world, and I get to see the end results for so many different people across so many different cultures, and the reaction is always the same. They're always happy at the end of it.
This direction of agriculture is critical for the future of the human species. If we don't go this direction, I do not have a strong and positive outlook on the future of mankind. I mean, it's that serious. Because ultimately, as I would see it, nature always wins out in the end. If we do not conform with these natural laws, eventually they'll come back and bite us. So we have to be very careful about conforming to the principles by which we're supposed to be growing crops. And a lot of my research has gone into the principles and the modes of action of how plants work. Now, this was not taught at the universities. I had to learn this on my own. And I think strict observers of nature will see that, plants grow in a certain way. You go into a natural forest or a prairie environment, and you can see plants growing very well. They don't have any of our agronomic inputs. They're following the natural laws of nutrient release, of plant protection against pests, and they're doing quite well. So the closer we conform with these natural principles, the better off we will be. And that's where Vitazyme comes in so wonderfully. Once we see that we're improving the nutrient content of the plant to make it healthier, we're improving the available nutrient release to the plant, it develops a natural resistance to disease, it produces abundantly a maximum yield, and also quality along with that.
We've changed the way a lot of people farm. What they've experienced is better soil fertility, better tilth, better soil structure, increased productivity, higher yields, better quality, and more profits.
Well, I see Ag BioTech in the future taking a much larger role in tackling this issue of increasing productivity on existing land, both globally and locally. We do a lot of international sales, and we're hoping to expand those as well through different distribution channels. And the more farmers that we can get these solutions out to, these products, these new technologies, the better. The better it is for the entire environment and the population. We can produce healthier food and more of it.
I think that there's a lot of positive forces at work, not just from our company, but from like-minded individuals and companies in the U.S. and throughout the world. The Green Revolution model was designed for an industrial scale level, but it doesn't work for a 1 acre or a half-acre smallholder farmer that's feeding 6 kids in Kenya. And our technology allows these people to be much more productive. It actually raises their standard of living, and it allows them to feed themselves and a lot of other people.
For more information, visit the website on your screen